Okay, our next presentation is by Some Products' very own Sam. He is an analyst with a background in finance, and he is very passionate about financial modeling, solving complicated problems in Excel, and building quality macros in VBA. So he is our go-to VBA expert, and he'll be showing you how to effectively build VBA tools in ChatGPT.
Good day, everyone. My name is Sam Ngo. I'm an analyst from Some Product, where we specialize in building financial model. Today, I'm excited to talk about the powerful combination of VBA and ChatGPT on how it can transform the way we create the automation tool and enhance our productivity. So let's move on with the brief overview of what I will cover today. So first, I will give you the definition of what is VBA and what is ChatGPT. And I will give you a brief strategy on how we design the prompt to add the ChatGPT to generate the VBA macro code. And I will show you two examples, which is list arrow and follow map, that we will add ChatGPT to build here. So first, what is VBA? VBA is short for Visual Basic for Application. It's a powerful programming language developed by Microsoft and then embedded in Microsoft Office Suite like Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Access, and Outlook. And the purpose of it is for automation, create custom function, and extend Office tool functionality. And it's quite versatile for interacting with Office app, and is accessible to all levels of user. What is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is an advanced AI language model for creating natural language and understanding and generation. It's a state-of-the-art in natural language processing. It's quite versatile application in text generation, translation, and summarization. It's using chatbot and virtual assistant. Alright, what would be a good strategy to be a good prompt to add ChatGPT to help us build a macro here? So in my example here, we can break down the prompt to smaller tasks to add ChatGPT to build a macro for each task. Then after that, we can add ChatGPT to combine all of that into one big module. And next, when we're building the macro, then sometimes we receive a error message from VBA. Don't panic. We can ask ChatGPT how to fix it. Then we can fix it ourselves. And sometimes we're being lazy, we add ChatGPT to fix the code for us. And next, sometimes ChatGPT doesn't quite good in fixing the error. After we try, we can always open a new chat, copy the code that more recently worked, and add it with more basic prompt to improve on it. Sometimes it don't generate error, sometimes it will, so sometimes you have to fix it yourself. And we can ask ChatGPT to put the comment in the code. The problem when you use ChatGPT to generate code, sometimes it also being lazy. It doesn't include any comment, so it's like affecting our readability of the code. So it's a very good idea to ask it to put the comment back in. And ChatGPT sometimes it has intend to complicate everything, so you can always keep access to keep the code short and concise, and it will be easier for us to fix. And we will keep improving assets to keep improving. Alright, let's design our first prompt. So we will design the first prompt on this macro list the arrow. So before you design the prompt, you need to imagine what would the output look like. So would you like to this macro to show all the error in the message box? Do you want this macro to put all the error in the separate sheet? Or do you just want it to be in the immediate window where you use the debug print command in VBA code? Or do you want it to show the error location? Or do you want it to have a link that allow you to click and go to that error location? So this is my first prompt where I designed. So I asked ChatGPT to write a VBA macro to list out all the error in the workbook and output it to a separate sheet. And one column they should have the sheet name, one column should have the cell reference, and adding have a link to go to that cell location, and one column to show the error type. So let's view my history here. So I asked this previous 7 days ago. So I asked it, and it had me generate the code. It showed me where to put it in the VBA editor here, insert a new module, run the macro. Yeah. So first I copy this code. I go to the one of the Excel file I prepared before for this event EVG. And here I had two sheets that contain the example. It contains hash div, NA, name, spill, hash wrap, and this just normal cell. And the second sheet is control hash div, NA, and hash wrap put in the formula here. Alright, let's open the developer tab. For some of you who doesn't have the developer tab, you can go to File, Option, and Customize ribbon. And you need to tick the this over here in order to enable the developer tab. Then you go to Developer, Visual Basic, and here this is your workbook. So you need to insert a new module here, and we name this module as list arrow. Alright, paste the code, and I want to change this subroutine name a bit. List arrow v1 for version 1. Then before I run the code here, I want to check that my autosave is up. The reason for this is sometimes when you turn on the autosave and you run the macro and this destroy your workbook and you cannot return back. So you turn on autosave, then it's safer. Now let's run this macro. So when you run this macro, they will create a new worksheet in the error list with name error list. Then they will have the first column sheet name, cell reference, and error. Then the count, initialize the error count. So this seems like the main engine to detect the error here. So let's see. So we can see it generate new worksheet named error list here, and they had the arrow. When we can click this arrow and they go directly to that arrow for us. Isn't that great? But like these on the same line, why we don't just ask it to put GA to KA in one cell? Then we can ask it to put E10 to K14 in one hash div, this one hash div, this one hash NA, hash name, hash spill. Yeah, then the list will be shorter and it's faster for us to detect the error. So that's the first thing. So the second problem I have with this code is here. First, they what happened if you had run this code second time? They will generate an error. In fact, let me run the code now. This name is already taken. Try a different one. So we need to ask ChatGPT for this error to future-proof this error. Next problem I have with this code is for each cell in worksheet use range. So I wanted to use range here because it's quite inefficient. Like if you have to look at the worksheet arrow sheet here, this is empty. They will check the empty cell. This they will check. They will check all the empty range here. That I don't want. They will check the text range, which is not necessary for me. So I want it to update the formula to check only the formula range. That's the first task. And instead of look through every cell, I wanted to look through range areas. Like this is first range, like here. Okay, let me special select this. Oops. Alright. If I press F5, special formula, this is first range, second range, third, fourth, fifth, sixth range that we could look through here. That would be more efficient. That would be more amazing. Alright, let's back to the VBA, the PowerPoint slide that we have. So, as I discussed with you, we need to update this part of the code to check if the error list sheet already exists. We need to look through every cell. Instead of doing that, we look through every cell range, every range area, and instead of use range, we only use the formula range only. Alright, let's design a prompt to ask ChatGPT to build that for us. First, we ask it to update the code to check if the error list already exists. And instead of look through every cell, ask it to look through every range areas. And instead use the use range, use the select, use the spectral select that I just showed you, use F5 that has formula. Alright, let's ask ChatGPT to implement that for us. So the second prompt I asked is here. Update the code, check if the error list already exists. Instead of look through every cell, look through every range area, and instead of use the range, just select the range that has formula. And it's in the updated code. Alright, copy. Let's go to my VBA. Paste the code. Oops, something wrong. Let me recopy this. Paste the code. And here's the code. Let's put it at version 2. Let's test it. Ooh, and we found an error here. We can ask ChatGPT for this error, but for this example, I know exactly why the error happened. Because this range area, then some shit, there's no formula at all, and this select nothing. So you cannot use the for loop if through nothing. And so a quick fix for me here, what I'm doing, I put the on arrow, resume, next. Well, this code not the best code you use for debugging, but in the exact example I want to do it quickly here, so I put the code there and I reset and run, and it worked. Let's see where my Excel is. Here I had the errors where it's looped through, and it seems like it's still outputting at every single cell. Alright, let's back to the PowerPoint. So I had the code here where some different that they had the error list. They check if that error list exists or not. If it doesn't exist, then they will create a new error list here. If the sheet exists, they will clear, then they will put back the sheet names, the reference, arrow, and initialize the error count again. And the problem, as we saw in the code, is that they doesn't have the formula, and it seems that ChatGPT, they didn't look through every range area, but it looked through cell again. So let's ask ChatGPT for some improvement in version 3 then. So first, I checked the part of this code that causing the problem in, and I will specifically ask ChatGPT to make a loop through every range area, not the cells. And if the worksheet doesn't have any formula, WS would mean worksheet here, then go to the next worksheet. Yeah, that's pretty much the idea. So let's see my ChatGPT history here. Yes, I add them specifically to do that. And this is the code. Let's copy the code. Head to the Excel, the VBA. Paste it in. Run it. No server file. Oh yeah, the same problem in the version 2. So we just put on arrow, resume, next. For now. Reset, run, and look like it's a set. Let's see the result. And it didn't. It didn't output the range area for me here. Look like the problem I gave this doesn't specify enough. So first, what's wrong with the code is they still had one loop here that looped through every cell in the range area, which is unnecessary. So in the next prompt, we're gonna ask ChatGPT to remove this part of the code. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's head back to the PowerPoint slide. So in the version 4, what I do is I decide to let the arrow slide for now, and we deal with it later on in the later version. For version 4, I'm gonna ask it specifically to remove this loop, and then provide the starting code for that loop. And I also ask it to output the range area instead. So let's see the code. This is the code, and let's put them in version v4 on arrow reason next, and let's see my Excel. It worked. This hash div here has a hash rep, but if you pay attention in error sheet 2, there are only 2 errors having for hash div and hash na, not the hash rep which is inside the formula that you see here. So we're gonna access again in version 5. So you see in our version, it's ignore the hash rep arrow over here. So in version 5 we gonna specifically, let's go, we ask it, what happened to the hash wrap error inside the formula but did not result in the hash wrap? Please update the formula to find where the hash wrap inside the formula. And look like it worked here. I put the code in version 5 coming up. Look like in version 5 they create a separate function for us, head wrap arrow in formula, and let's name this one v5. This function also v5. Let's check if I had any of this. 5 minutes. So v5. Yep, that's all of them. So they still had this code from version 2, where you check if the error list sheet exists. The main engine still here. Yeah, disable from version 3, and they look to range area, and they use the function that they newly create to check if the cell areas have the error. But if you have a look at the name of the function, it's only check hash wrap arrow in formula, so it only check for hash wrap. And yeah, and here you can see it only check for hash wrap only. So if you run the code, run. Oh yeah, the same arrow over here. Arrow reason next. Yep. Run again, and you can see in the Excel it's only check for hash wrap and bold list in bullshit, so it's not ideal. So what we're gonna do, we go back to our ChatGPT here, we ask it again, fix the code to find bold hash wrap inside the formula and all the error as well. So let's copy this code, go back to our VBA project, paste it in, fix this one to v6, this one over here to v6, v6, v6 here, and v6 here. Yep. Put an arrow reason next here, and let's run. Let's go to our Excel file. And it worked, but this time, this arrow type has some problem. So you can continue build up on my example, ask it to improve to detect the arrow type, and sometimes like on the rank area, not one type of arrow. Sometimes in one rank area they have like 2 or 3 arrow, and you might want to ask ChatGPT specifically to have a unique list in that range area to output the correct list of error. Alrighty, let's go back to our PowerPoint slide. So as you can see, from version 6 and version 5, there's only one added part is all is error cell value, and it changed everything. It's lists out all the error you needed in version 6, but version 6 still not optimal one. You can continue to build up on my example here. You can ask it to create your unique list of the arrow from the arrow range that you have here. Okay, that's enough for this macro. Let's move on to the next macro of the day, the formula map. So the general idea is like, if you had a block, 1, 2, 3, 4 block of formula, and it's copy down and copy across, they will show the first formula on the top and on the left an F, and if it copy across, it show the larger sign, and if it copy down, it show the V, and if copy down across, it show the plus sign here. Alright, let's see our Excel file here. So in the formula map Excel file, you can see we have this formula n plus. So let's go to formula, show formula. Yeah, the formula copy down, copy across like this. Formula copy across, formula copy down. A block of formula equal 1, a block of formula equal 2. Yeah, that's pretty much the idea. Let's turn this back. So the main example is like this was the map of that sheet, of the formula map sheet. So our output, we want it to be like this. So first thing first, we are gonna duplicate a copy just of this sheet, just in case it got destroyed somehow when we run the VBA code. So let's go back. So first we design this prompt a bit more detailed than the previous prompt. So we want VBA code to look through all the formula cell in the active sheet. Yeah, we don't want it to look through every user range. It's quite time consuming if they do that. And first, for the F, we want it to check the top cell formula is not the same as current cell, and the left cell formula is not the same as current cell. Or if the top cell and the left cell have no formula, and we will put an F there, just like in the map here. The plus, we check the top cell and left cell formula had the same as current cell formula. Yeah, that's really straightforward. And for the V, we only check the top formula same as the current cell formula, and the larger sign check if the left cell formula is same as current cell formula. So if you imagine this in if over here, if the F not satisfied, then you check if the plus sign satisfied condition, and if the V, yeah, that's pretty much it. And so let's check that in the here. So this is the first iteration, and as it's the same as the one from the PowerPoint, copy the code. Let's go to our VBA project. Well then, let's see, let's run the VBA code then. Let's run. And it creates some weird N symbol, the F symbol, the V is not ideal, and this is completely destroying my worksheet. Looking, I have a backup here, so let's duplicate another one. We're gonna test another over here, and let's go back to our VBA here. look like the code didn't working because they keep you and. Why this one, the first one, this one's supposed to go together, then or they, so this one should be or to end here. This one also the same, and they also checking for blank cell, which is not what we want. This one good. Formula equal top formula or top formula. Yeah, we don't want it to check for blank cell here. Alright, let's go back to our planning. Okay, so we will fix assets subsequently to fix the logic again. So what I'm doing an asset to fix our logic, like check if the top cell is not the same as current cell and left cell formula is not the same current cell. I completely ignore the blank cell situation here, and I put another F separately. Check if top cell and left cell have no formula, and check if the top cell formula and left cell formula is same as current cell. Yeah, pretty much this part pretty much the same as previously. So let's see how this code works. I was so excited that I didn't put version 1 for previous code though. Let's put it then. Alright, let's run the code. Let's check. It looks like it's working, but not what we expected. So let's duplicate this sheet again, and we go back to VBA, the ChatGPT. So this time I realized what was the problem, that we fixing it directly on the sheet, which is destroy everything the data we store. So after realizing that my silly mistake, I add ChatGPT. Alright, this time write the result in the separate sheet named map. Alright, so let's see it directly here. They had all arrows resume to next, all arrows go to arrow. They create a sheet named map and check if it exists or not. It looks like my previous chat with ChatGPT, they interlink somehow. Alright, copy this code, go to our VBA project, paste, change it to V3, and run. Actually, I had to run it here, so let's run it again. And yeah, we had some initial success. This one, yeah, they show the F and the plus sign correctly. This one correct, except for this part and this part and this part and all this part over here. Alright, no worry. So my next strategy, I'm gonna create a separate chart and copy this, and we will create the prompt. We design the prompt like in begin. So I will ask it to write an VBA code, look through all the formula cell in the active sheet, and write the result in the separate sheet named map. And this prompt is previously in the first version. Alright, let's go to my VBA, go to this is my second attempt. Look through all formula cell in active sheet, write the result in the separate sheet named map. Yep. So let's copy this code. Alright, let's go to my VBA project. Let's put this at version 2.1. And let's run the code. Oh, they had the same error as this error here. Alright, no worry. All error, reason, next. Alright, I have to reset the project. Run, success. There. And here is the result. As you can see here, it's worked for this formula block down here and this formula block down here, perfectly fine. But this three formula block, it didn't work at all. So let's go to formula map, the backup that I created, and have a look at the formula over here. So as you can see, the macro we created check everything exactly match. Like if G7 they not exactly match with the H7 because of the G and H. So one way we can solve this problem is something I call R1C1 reference style. C1. So this R1C1 reference style essentially means row and column reference style. So you can turn this on by go to Files, Option, and go to Formula, and you can turn it on here, working with formula R1C1 reference style. So press OK, and you can see all the formula here, they are just become same. So what this formula means is like, okay, offset, one go back, one row back, one column to the left. It's also the same, except for this block over here where I decided just offset one column to the left. Now, with it, all we need to ask ChatGPT is to check all the formula in R1C1. So let's go to our friend ChatGPT. So the next prompt I'm gonna ask it is, instead checking formula in the default reference style, check it in the check the formula based on R1C1 reference style, and it gives us this beautiful code. Let's copy it and let's go to my Excel VBA. Control V. Let's put it as version 2.2 and run the macro. Let's go back to this. Okay, I had to turn on the formula. Alright, let's go to the map. And we can, as you can see, it's worked here. So our macro work. So there's some other way you can improve this macro. Is like, okay, go to the cell again and check if this is text, put a T there. If it's number, put an N there. Or if it is an array, put an A there. Yeah, there's many ways you could improve this macro. Well, with this macro finish, has marked the ending of my presentation. Thank you for listening. Do you have any question? Please don't hesitate to pop that in the chat. And here, please use this QR code on the link below to provide feedback on the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that absolute masterclass on VBA from Sam. We've got a couple of questions from now, so if you want to just come in, Sam, so answer some of those questions.
Yeah,
I'll pop you up on the screen. Okay, so first of all, What websites and online references do you recommend?
Actually, I didn't use any website on. What I'm doing is I'm using the intermediate window, and I write the code in there and checking all of that. And sometimes you just write a short code and debug it. It's way more fun to like learn that way.
So you learn by debugging it all and trying to figure it out yourself without the help from like external sources.
Oh, actually, Google does help, and recently GPT also helped me like okay explain all the stuff or like generate the simple code. Yes.
Okay. From AC, it seems like it requires a lot of prior knowledge to understand ChatGPT outputs and debug for it. What would you say is the most valuable aspect of using ChatGPT for VBA?
Actually, you can learn a lot from it though. Like at first, my VBA skill is not so good. So when using ChatGPT with VBA, I learned a lot from it. Like most of the in the beginning, um, it's helped me debugging heavily. Then later I learned a few tricks of it. Then later I debug myself, the code myself.
Right. So in getting ChatGPT to help you, you're still learning through the experience of interacting with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really useful. Okay, we got another question from Mike. What are your tips for getting good responses out of ChatGPT?
So maybe like you should be direct with it and good response. Sometimes I just like ask it multiple time, and sometimes it doesn't give you the answer you want. You just like I think like just like create a new chat, pop that question, and sometimes create a completely new version of the code that work for you. And don't waste time adding it to like fix your code. Add it like what this error does and like how to fix it yourself. Don't bother to ask it to fix your code.
Right. Okay. Okay. Because it's just not worth them. It's not worth the time for like asking it to fix things. Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't fix anything at all.
Okay. So that's where you need that human on top, making sure everything's all right. Okay. From Dominic Walsh. In your experience, are companies or IT departments resistant to allowing macros to be used in organizations?
I'm not sure about this.
Have you had, so with models that you've built, right, that have included macros, have you ever had any pushback from that where companies have been upset or not allowed you to use macros in a certain financial model?
Yeah. So in certain financial model, like they don't want them workbook have the macro at all. So sometimes like you have to follow client direction on this.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you very much. That was really interesting.
Okay. Thank you.